Thank you all so much for inviting us back to speak with you today. It is one of my favorite speaking engagements just because I get to talk to so many people that are actively involved in this community and take part in not only the market and the criterium and all the different resources that we have available. Two of what I call our real good friends. We've got Jessica here from Main Street Community Center. We get asked to speak there as well, and we appreciate that partnership. And Janet from the township, thanks so much for being here today and for your support also for our vouchers, our food vouchers for the farmers market. We really appreciate that. And thank you all for the work that you do for this community and the time that you spend trying to make a really positive impact. We are grateful to have you guys with us. You heard our mission, so I'm not going to read this again. This is one of my favorite slides. It is representative in a small way of kind of what we do. The Goshen market for over 20 years, actually next year at our triumphant return to the Goshen Commons will be also our 30th birthday. So we are planning a pretty big birthday bash homecoming event. So certainly more on that in the next year. The market is sort of our main community facing activity. Obviously, it's very much sort of a home base for, I feel like, most of the city of Edwardsville. We get to bring folks downtown, gather up all this energy and resources on Main Street. And then we started the foundation in 2016 with the intention of taking all of those resources and energy and sharing them with an even broader community. So the Goshen market has become sort of the overall umbrella for that. But we have a variety of other programs and activities that sort of are the spokes on all of that stuff. The one that I would like to point out right now is the Goshen market there on the top, because that is so much of our community facing program. We have listed on there just some of our partnerships that make the market possible and that make the market wonderful. We have the city of Edwardsville who lets us use that space without paying rent. We just have to keep it nice and we're happy to do that. We also have the Good Dirt Community Garden and Good Dirt Composting Collective who helped us get compost bins available for free use for everybody at the market. We have Feeding Illinois, who we partnered with. We were actually the pilot program for their farm to food bank initiative. We had a really successful run with that. And so that was very cool. These other spaces are represent businesses that help us through weekly and monthly charity drives. Artisan 222 sells pizza on Saturday nights. Friday and Saturday evenings. If you didn't know that, it's delicious pizza, and they give a portion of their proceeds to us just because. And we have a lot of partnerships like that we are so grateful for. Another one of these little spokes says patrons. Obviously, we would not be successful without all the folks that are both from Edwardsville and that come to Edwardsville to shop at the market. We have a really loyal following, and that makes a huge difference for our vendors and for the community. I actually just heard at this last winter market that we had one of our vendors many of them sell at multiple locations. The O'Fallon, Illinois market is larger than us by both number of vendors and number of customers, but their sales, he said, the sales that they have there and the sales that he has here in Edwardsville are the same because they have so many loyal customers that come back week after week to get their product and they just enjoy shopping here in Edwardsville. So we are appreciative of them. We are appreciative of all our vendors that take their time to come out and make our market really special. Another important fact about all those vendors is that last year we had 125 approved vendors. And what that represents is not just the folks that show up at the market, but those are 125 small businesses that operate here in Edwardsville that, pay Edwardsville sales tax, that bring in, they've created those products that they sell and those vegetables, fruits and vegetables, breads, they've made those here in town. They sell them here in town and contribute to the community in that financial way, which is a pretty cool economic impact above and beyond the building of community, which is really in our heart. So briefly, I'm just going to go through a few of our programs. Our Farm to Food Bank is the program I mentioned with Feeding Illinois. It allowed us to purchase seconds and gleanings from our farmers. So food that would normally have gone to waste, but was actually, there's nothing wrong with it. They just didn't need it. They had too much of it, or they were ugly, but still entirely edible. They brought that produce to market and we were able to pay them for picking and packing costs. What that did for us this last year was collect 5,500 pounds of produce from our local farmers that went to local pantries and local organizations. So people that needed food got food. Our farmers got a little bit of extra money. They got 50 cents a pound. So over $2,000 went back to our farmers for stuff that they were, prepared to leave in the ground. We also had 15 home gardeners participate in that. So folks that show up at the market and said like, wait, what do you do? Oh my God, I have how many extra bags of zucchini? And they brought it to us. And so they were able to participate both in the market and then in helping the community. And 3 community gardens grow for us. This past year at St. John's Mission Garden is huge and wonderful, but boy, they had a tough go with their harvest this past year. And because we had other methods of getting produce, they shared that with their other smaller organizations. But they are a longtime supporter of our work, and we're grateful to them. And also the Good Dirt Community Garden grows for us, and our Little Market Sprouts Garden made quite a bit of produce for us. As you guys have seen at the market and around town, we also have our Beat Box, which is our mobile farmers market. Mostly what has happened with the Beat Box is that it's become a program more than a vehicle. So the vehicle does go out and offers low cost and no cost produce to underserved communities all over Madison and St. Clair County. We also did produce drops at different organizations so that folks just got fresh produce to share with their customers. Specifically, Oasis Women's Shelter in Alton, 2 subsidized senior housing facilities, also in Alton, Granite City Salvation Army. They have a pizza pickup day, and we also set up the mobile farmers market so folks could do pizza and produce while they were there. We contribute to the SIUE Cougar Cupboard and Fairmont City. So we have a lot of partners, and this year we served approximately 1,200 seniors, families, and people in need with the 8,000 pounds of produce that we distributed through the community. We also shared seeds, seedlings, and recipes, and it's a free little library, so we are making cool strides there. The Goshen Market also serves as a link hub, which is an initiative of Experimental Station and Link Up Illinois. Because they are all centered in Chicago, they have partnered with some markets like us that are a little bit bigger and local to help other local markets get established to accept SNAP and Link. It increases access to healthy foods, it doubles people's purchasing power while they're at the market, and it helps our farmers get more money in their pockets for their produce. Sprouts at School is our most recent initiative, and I'm actually really excited about this. We were very fortunate to receive a $27,000 grant from the Dana Brown Foundation. It is a 5-part nutrition, gardening, farm education series that we took to preschools, area preschools. Edwardsville Head Start is one of them. We also partnered with the Head Start in Bethalto and 2 daycare centers, one in Granite City and one in Cahokia Heights. We taught 120 3 to 5-year-olds about growing plants and healthy foods and pollinators. It was really important to us that this program was really all encompassing. And to that end, one of the things that we wrote into the grant was that we would take produce snack, a new fruit or vegetable for the children to try each time, and enough of that snack for them to take home to share with their family. The other important part of that is that we wrote into the grant to have enough money to pay our farmers retail price for that produce. So that was not a donation from them. We were able to pay them what they would get at market, because we really want to benefit as many of the folks as we can with our programming. Really, the intention is to benefit everybody. Through that program, we purchased and delivered 420 snacks for those kids to take home. We also added them to our beatbox route. So once a week, our mobile farmers market showed up and either dropped off a box of produce for the parents to get when they picked up the children, or stayed there with the hope of sort of engaging in community and talking about healthy eating with parents and the children. This is some of those kids checking out a worm bin. There were mixed reviews on that. Some kids were very excited. Some kids were not at all interested, but it was a lot of fun. Absolutely. So I'm going to focus a lot here on the market because, as I've said, it's the heart of community in downtown Edwardsville. We offer local foods, produce, artisan goods to residents and visitors alike. But as I said, it is very much a collection of 125 small local businesses that show up over the course of our 24-week season. Here are just a few of those stats that we have. We welcomed over 26,000 visitors to the Goshen market in 2025. We got the data to prove it, even. It's not even just our guests anymore, which is pretty cool. Our Market Sprouts Kids activity, which is a free educational activity for anybody that shows up at the market. We welcomed about 1,900 children to participate in those activities, and paid for the supplies and the staff to make that happen. We distributed $4,000 in SNAP and Link Match for fresh produce. So that's $4,000 that was not going to be available to spend, that went to our farmers because we participate in the Link Match program. We also had 1,500 plus, which is super low, visits from dogs and their pet parents. If you've been to the market, which I think you all have, it's almost as many dogs as people, and we would not have it any other way. This is just one of the lovely pictures of our market. We got lots of stuff. Mother's Day weekend is that opening day, so flowers. Another thing I wanted to mention about the market and our economic impact is that we also hope to start them young. We have 2 kids markets each year where children get to make whatever it is they want. So some of it is very much crayons on paper. They get to bring it. Some of them had carved walking sticks and some pretty intense and wonderful products. They get to sell them. They set up. We charge them $2, so they sort of get the process of, like, you come, you pay a fee, you participate, and then you make money with the things that you made. And those have been hugely successful, and we are really excited about those. Also planning to partner with the local Girl Scouts so that Girl Scouts that participate in those kids markets can earn a badge. As you may know, we are moving this season to City Park, while the city of Edwardsville makes us a lovely renovated home at the Goshen Commons. So we are not only really grateful for the amazing space that will be available for us, but also City Park is in no way a second choice location for a farmer's. It's a gorgeous space, and we're so grateful that we have that opportunity to move there. The city of Edwardsville and visitors alike are familiar with that space, and we are looking forward to making that work. This is sort of a map. You guys are getting a sneak peek here. This is a map that shows our original location, our new location, and where we plan to have vendors set up, both on Park and Kansas Street. And because of the city's generosity, we will also be setting up in the Public Works parking lot. So we're really excited about that. This is our plan for all but 3 of the markets when pre-existing events will be happening in City Park. We'll be adjusting and moving to Cassin's parking lot. For the Edwardsville Art Fair, the Criterium, and the Route 66 Festival. There we go. And this is just sort of an up close about where our vendors are going to be. So our 2026 budget for all of our programs, including our market relocation, and all of these programs that we've talked about, is about $95,000. We're going to use around 4,000 volunteer hours, but boy, more if we can get them. We'll we'll take them for all sorts of different things. We will also be at the market collaborating with the library on our kids programs for story time, and the SIUE STEM program will be out once a month, demonstrating some new equipment that they got as part of a grant from the Meridian Society. So we're grateful for that collaboration. The last thing I want to talk about at the market is our donation drives. Once a month, we collect supplies and funds for different organizations that just need a little help. So we will be publishing that schedule pretty soon. We had a really successful, really heartwarming turnout for those this last year. And we're really grateful to be doing that again, to have that opportunity, and that the city responds so generously to our requests for our needs and for the needs of others. This is just a list of our 2025 sponsors. You guys have sponsorship brochures on your table. You certainly don't have to support us financially, but if you're in a place where you can do that, we would love to have you join the ranks of some really cool companies that are helping us out. You'll also have on your table the impact report. That is a list of all of those sort of data that we have collected about our impact from this past year. And we're really proud of that. If you are wondering, yes, Sherry Hickman made all those graphics for us. She's wonderful, and we couldn't be more grateful to have her step into the role of president. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you all. I hope to see you all at opening day at the Goshen Market on May 9th in City Park. If I don't see you first at our last winter market, which is April 18th at the Farm Bureau. We are hoping to have baby animals to pet, in addition to some actual good early spring produce. So please do come check us out there from 10 to 12. I'm staying here.
Scares me.
These poor folks just can't get away from us. They get forced to move over to City Park, and we move the Rotarian over to City Park. It's like, it's okay. We understand the importance of fundraising and how much more difficult it's become. I mean, it really certainly has, and the value that our organizations lend to the support that we provide the community. And you guys, it's so multifaceted if you look through that information about what they provide. So on behalf of the Edwardsville Rotary Club, we discuss things and the importance of your foundation, and this check for $5,000 is going to the fundraising chair, Sherry Hickman, to add to your reserves and resources and do great for the community. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. It makes all the difference for us, and we really do appreciate you. Thanks so much.
We get a picture of that.
Of course.
This gonna be